Hey, I want to share with you a few inside tips about the retainer agreement. The retainer agreement is that contract that binds you to your attorney, but not really. Very few clients will ever read the retainer agreement. They sign it, they maybe even glance through it, but they almost never read it. Huge mistake. When you sign an agreement, it doesn't bind you to your lawyer or the law firm. Not at all. You can rip it up, throw it away whenever you want. You can have the right to choose your lawyer at every phase of your case, all the way up through at the day of the trial. If you want a new lawyer, you just say, you're fired. That's it. And then the retainer agreement does not bind you to the attorney. You are the boss. Your law firm is the agent. What that means is you get to control who represents you, who serves you. The lawyer doesn't do that. So if they try to hold that retainer agreement over you and say, hey, I've got this piece of paper that you signed, that does not bind you to the attorney. So come on. A few quick tips about retainer agreements. Number one, reimbursement of case expenses. You want the retainer agreement to specify in the event that no money is recovered, you will not be responsible to reimburse the lawyer for case expenses. Really important, because if you lose your case and let's say the lawyer spends $50,000 or $100,000, they could come back to you and say, you have to pay that money. Oh no. Get it cleared in writing in the retainer agreement that you will not be responsible for case expenses in the event that no money is recovered. Tip number two, ask the lawyer in the retainer agreement to spell it out. Remember, this is your contract. Will there be any additional legal expenses other than the fee? Now, some attorneys will charge extra money for other types of legal matters like probate. In a death case, there may be probate proceedings where they have to do work in a different court. They may charge extra for that. You need to ask the lawyer. Now, if there's extra legal issues involving an infant, you just need to clarify that. Are there going to be any additional legal expenses that are not spelled out in the retainer agreement? Talk to your attorney about lien resolution. A lien is usually from Medicaid or Medicare. They may come back to you and try to get back the money that they paid for your medical care. And that would be known as a Medicaid lien or a Medicare lien. Really important. Have it spelled out with your attorney. How are you going to address lien resolution in my case? How will we get that resolved before the case is over? How will the legal fee be calculated? And there's two terms. One is called the gross and the other is called the net. So let's say, for example, on $1 million settlement, the $1 million would be the gross amount of the settlement. In many cases, that is how the legal fee would be based on the gross amount, the full amount. But the net is a lower amount. It deducts the case expenses. So let's say that you had $50,000 of case expenses on $1 million settlement. The net recovery would be $950,000. And in New York State, in medical malpractice cases, the legal fee is calculated based on the client's net recovery. So it's not based on the gross, it's based on the net. And that's important because that is required by New York State law. Now, another quick tip about New York State in medical malpractice actions, legal fees are determined based on what is called the sliding scale. What does that mean? Your legal fee is not 1/3, it's substantially less than that. It begins at 30% for the first $250,000, and then it drops in increments of 5% down to 10%. So as you recover more money in your case, the legal fee continues to drop in increments of 5%. Any recovery that's beyond $1.25 million, you're gonna pay 10% on any sums above that amount. Really important to read the language because in New York State, that's required by law, the sliding scale. The lawyer cannot charge more money than what is permitted by New York State law. So here's another little bonus tip. If you have questions about the retainer, ask the attorney. You never know. If you've got a great case, like for example, if a tractor trailer ran over someone and they have a severe injury or they died, your attorney may be willing to negotiate the amount of their legal fee. Doesn't hurt to ask. All you have to do is ask your attorney, hey, would you be willing to do this for 20% or 25%? They might say no, but they might say yes. Everything in this world is negotiable. Those are my tips for today. If you like this video, please subscribe, to our YouTube channel. Look at this beautiful upstate New York. Isn't it gorgeous in the fall? It's just a great place to live and work here. Subscribe to our channel, comment on it. I will respond. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.